Welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani, and in this two-part lesson series, I'm going to be showing you guys the Dundun drum. The Dundun is the barrel-shaped drum that is so commonly used in West African drumming in association with the djembe drum, which many of you are familiar with, and I've covered many times on World Drum Club. This Dundun is fairly typical. It's got a wooden shell, rope tuning, cowskin heads with the fur on. The fur, it mutes the head, it mutes some of the harmonics, and it gives it a really warm, rich tone. So this is the kind of drum that I would recommend for you to purchase for your classroom or for yourself or your community drumming ensemble. If you're looking for a set of Dundun, get a natural shell, wooden shell. This shell is made from staves of wood. It's more of a factory-made shell. Rather than a carved shell, but either one will be great for you as a starter. And it's the same kind of drums that the professional drumming ensembles use. So if you want to stay current and stay more in the professional realm, then I recommend a wooden drum, rope tuning, which is very easy to tune the drum, and the nice skin, the natural skin. And kids love this kind of drum because it's exotic. They love to come up and feel the head. Clients will enjoy that authenticity and that whole tactile experience. And the Dundun is a double-headed drum, so it's a barrel drum, barrel-shaped drum, two heads. We only play one of the heads at a time. So you can either place it this way. This would be what we call ballet style, more modern, theater-oriented performance style, or the more folkloric style, which would be to strap the drum on this way and play it on the side like this. We can get into that in more detail, but for this introduction lesson, suffice to say that you can either play it sideways on a stand like this with a stick, and I'll talk about the sticks in a second, or you can place it on a stand this way and play it vertically. This is what we would call vertical position. So I'm standing, this is a stand-up stand. Notice the drum is a little bit below my waist level. So it could be at or below your waist level. You don't want it higher than your waist level because then you might be hitting the rim when you strike it with the Dundun sticks. So we play the Dundun with large wooden sticks like this. These are fairly long. You see they're about as long, well, longer than my wrist. They're almost from my wrist or my elbow to my fingertips in length. So they can be pretty long sticks. You're going to strike the drum with a relaxed grip, and we strike the Dundun pretty much in the middle of the head. You know, you're not going to hit it exactly in the middle. You don't want to hit any drum exactly in the middle because that's a dead spot or a node. But you can strike it, you can just aim at the middle. You probably won't hit it exactly, and that's good, that's fine. So you're going to strike the drum like this with a loose grip. And that is our open tone on the Dundun. We also have, in some cases, some style of playing, we have a muted tone, which is like this. And sometimes this is called the press tone, or in notation, you'll often see that as a closed stroke or a muted stroke or a press stroke. I think closed is a very common term that we use for that. So that's where you just keep the stick on the head. You don't want the stick to vibrate, however. You don't want to do what we call a press roll, which is this. So we don't want all those little separate tones bunched together. We just want one note. And it's not as loud as the open tones or the struck tones, but it's still a tone that is used in the rhythms that we play on the Dundun. So on a very basic level, you've got just the sticks like this, and you hold it like that, like any other drumstick. Strike it like this, and you're going to bounce off the head for most of your strokes, and then you've got your press stroke or your closed stroke. So for example, a simple rhythm might just be just as an example. So coming up in the later part of this lesson and the part 2, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play a 2-part Dundun rhythm. So we're going to use the larger Dundun, which is the Dundun Ba. This is the medium-sized Dundun called the Sangban. And I'll show you how to play a 2-part rhythm that will go with Yankadi. And then in the other section, I'll show you the rhythm for Makru, which I've already covered on djembes. So if you haven't seen those lessons, you can search World Drum Club and find those. I'm also going to show you guys how you can reduce the volume of the Dundun for indoor play or classroom use by using some different types of sticks and mallets. So that's in part 2. Part 1, we're going to continue on the Patreon site. So if you're watching this on Patreon, this video will continue. If you're watching free on YouTube, I want to thank you guys for checking into World Drum Club. Make sure you become a patron so you get access to the rest of these videos and lots of other videos that are not posted on YouTube. So there's more videos on the Patreon page. You can subscribe to that at patreon.com/Kalani. So now let's move on, and I'm going to show you guys the Dundun parts for the rhythm Yankadi.